So I made a change on. Yeah, I only grabbed that one page. So your paper.
Okay.
My dumbass only grabbed one page.
Oh no.
So on the Pendleton Heating and Cooling, right here under interview questions, this is what she wants to talk about because she's a sponsor. So some of the questions we've already asked, so I put those there, and then we'll kind of just do echo like we did with Joy.
Cool.
On it.
Sounds good.
Ugh.
I might have to turn this off, but it'll automatically kind of track. So if we see, look, it'll turn. See it looking at you? And then it turns.
Tourist vessel, whether it's a yacht, whether it's a submarine, in the area of Hurghada since November of last year. So Egyptian tourism.
There we go.
Safety of the companies operating those tourist boats in the waters of the Red Sea.
So what, is the camera already on it? Is that what that tiny thing is?
Nope, that will just track. So if I...
Oh, it tracks movement.
Yeah. So I'm worried to see how it does with multiple people. I'm going to probably just turn it off, but we'll see how it looks.
What about...
Cool.
Because where you're going to have it, you're going to have the guests right here, so you're going to be recording their back. Is that what you're wanting to aim on that?
Right, but it's like I want to see both of our faces.
Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. I was kind of thinking about that. And I'll just maybe tell the guest, well, they're going to be like this, right? Yeah, no, we'll get their profile. So
Just have
as
them
long
turn.
as they're looking, as long as they're not looking at you, make sure they look at both of us. If they're looking at me, then they'll be able to be seen.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Small business.
It's hot in this fucking room.
What?
I said it's so fucking hot in this room.
Yes, thank you for turning it on. Power cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and I got it set like 60s, so it'll keep running this whole time.
Cool.
I can't believe I did that.
And so it came with this little remote, but I don't know how it works.
What's the design on that hand there on your fingers? Looks like a design.
They're little angry faces.
Oh, that is cool.
Thank you. Oh, there we go. You know, it might be cool.
It depends on what it's focused on, it looks like.
Right. I want to be able to control it with this. This was...
Huh. Just keep it like out of sight. You just nonchalantly click it like that.
Oh, does it like... Well, it's not even doing anything. Like
It's
I
following.
can't-
Turn off the thing real quick. Maybe that's why.
So then it's like red. You see there's another button on there? And the switch is on, so...
I mean, the light's flashing too, so you know it's on.
Right. I don't know if like...
You broke it already.
Right. Well, we'll probably just leave it, because it works as a mount. So... I'll have to figure this out. It's so weird.
Ugh. So, I have never seen you in not a suit before.
I know.
Wow. Yeah, that was definitely a shocker.
Sleep was good today.
Sleep was good?
Yeah, it's like, I'm going to sleep in a little bit. That's right.
So, we're starting after our banner, we're going to start with Saving Abel. And because these phone calls, it's just easier to get it out of the way. And we're going to hit Echo, and we're going to hit Bo, Randy, and I'm sorry, Dominique, but you're dead last. Yep, that's with everything to talk about, way that I figured we do save best for last. So that way everyone kind of knows the thing. I could tell. Day off,
It was
right?
kind of like I could have thrown the suit on, but I was like, I don't have time.
Why not?
I
If
don't
you,
really care.
no, it's not like they can see you on the radio besides the live, but you know what? You look more human today.
Yeah, that's fine.
Ugh. Alright, everyone knows their schedule.
Cool.
Now what you're doing? Oh, is it a microphone?
Yeah.
I just got the cell phone here. You got the whole
How
setup.
fancy we can be.
Light and all, huh?
Yeah.
Did you see how I did the podcast on the website? Because that was actually new.
I'm not sure if this mic is going to. So I'm going to go live. And then can you tune into my live and see if we got audio?
That means I got to cut off my live.
Oh, you're already live?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, no worries.
Have you lined out everybody about how they're going to come in?
Yep.
Okay. And then let me get the phone going. There it is.
And you can see over there, you might have to lean in a little bit to be seen.
You said Scott?
Yep.
Forwarded the voicemail.
Try it again. Sometimes you have to call twice.
Well, my phone does that. I block the first call from anyone that's not my contacts.
Yep, voicemail done. Hi, Scott. Hold on one sec. Hold on. Hi, KRDO.
So for everyone listening right now, that you won't be able to hear Scott's interview when we start because he'll be on the phone. So it'll just be hearing the questions that we ask.
On the overnight hours, I think, for the next week or so. But you can actually go to krdo.com and read the story. On that story, it'll give you the exact time. Okay. I know, 85. I know. It's a pain. I know.
You say, hi, Facebook Live. We're getting
Yes.
ready to record the show for Saturday right now. I'm taking a couple phone calls in the booth right there and talking, getting our guest lined up right here. One of our guests. Do you want to tell the Facebook Live who our guest is? From Saving Abel?
Oh, they'll have to wait till Saturday or listen to him. Just keep watching.
Just keep watching. He's playing hard to get over here, so just keep on watching. If you like music, you're
I'm
gonna
sorry about
love
that,
this
Cap. You've had a
episode.
wonderful day.
That's for
You
dang
can-
sure.
you
So
can get more
sounds like they're
information
wrapping things up on the booth back there, and we'll be getting started any
All right,
second.
Scott.
Thanks for hanging out live with
we
us.
see you right
Small
away.
Business
Video.
Showcase is every
Yeah,
Saturday.
can you say something, Scott?
Radio, News Radio.
All right. Yep, I could hear you. Perfect.
All right, I think we are ready. Let me
Awesome.
get everything situated here.
So what you're going to hear, Scott, is you're going to hear the beginning part where we do our banter, and then we're going to bring you on, and then we'll just keep rolling with it. We'll talk for about 5 to 10 minutes. We'll introduce you, and then we'll talk to you about roughly 10 minutes.
Is there any
Yes,
way
sir.
to bring him up in the booth just a little bit so my live can hear him, our lives can hear him just like a little bit?
There wouldn't be.
Okay, no worries.
There's not a way.
It's okay.
You can put. Are there headphones in that down there?
Oh, okay, yeah. No, we'll do
Go
that
from,
next
I
time.
mean, you can actually go from headphone jack to your.
They could listen on Saturday for it. It gives them a reason to listen, even if they're on the live.
I'll figure it out next time, so we don't hold up time today. Yeah, no, that's totally fine.
Okay, so we're gonna pull you down, Scott. When they're ready to talk to you, I'll turn you up, but you're on the system, so you'll be able to hear them.
So you'll be able to hear us. You won't be able to hear our
All right.
guest.
Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it. Oh, I don't hear myself.
There,
we
now
go.
I hear you.
I think we're ready now.
Okay.
Woo.
Here we go. The intro is firing, and 3. Hold on. 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, and it's another beautiful Saturday. Thank you for listening to the Small Business Showcase here on KRDO. I'm B-Rad, along with my co-host Jake. How you doing this morning, Jake?
Hey, I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for having me back for my second episode here. Oh my gosh, let's make it some more.
Definitely. We are looking forward to having a special guest on today, but we're also going to have our sponsor, Bo Hughes from James Foster Farmers Insurance, back on today. Our sponsor, Brandy Piddleton from Piddleton Heating and Cooling, is going to be on today. We're going to be talking to Echo Vogel about the life of Echo, which is her company. She says she's a happiness coach.
Yes, and we were talking out in the hallway. I am so excited to talk with her. This is going to be some good stuff. Mental health. Oh, I love it.
I told Jake that we're going to be talking to Echo, and he thought I was talking to some kind of ecosystem on my text.
I'm like, is that Amazon you're talking about?
FYI, I don't do voice to text.
Gotcha.
I am old school. I text it. I
Old
type it
school.
out.
Okay, well, I'm the voice to text guy, so if something doesn't make sense, you know what's up.
That's everyone's text anymore. And I'm like, why even do it? We got to fix it then.
Right.
And then we have an exciting guest, Dominic Garcia from Hellraiser Tattoo, is going to be on today, talking about getting ready to get his tattoo shop open, as well as Men and Influence nonprofit that he's a part of, and how it's all combined together at the Citadel Mall. I know everyone hates the Citadel Mall, but he claims that they're making it more safety. So we'll hear about that today. And then our special guest we will have on in a little bit here, Scott from Saving Abel. So, rock fans, you get something interesting today.
Bow, 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 bow. Oh, it's so exciting. Yes, I'm already rocking my head here in the studio, and I have some questions that I've just been so excited to ask. So, yeah.
So, we are looking into vacations and doing vacation segments and travel segments. So, Jake, where is one place that if you could go and no money was an issue, where would you go?
Does it have to be somewhere that I've already, or that I haven't been already?
No. It could,
Okay.
If you've already been to the place already, then tell us about it.
Yes, I'm a tourist. I like things that are tried and true. I like routines, so I'm going back to the big island of Hawaii. Oh my gosh, that was my first time seeing the ocean. It was so turquoise. It's so beautiful. It's just unreal, and I want to go back. And I did something maybe not so good that you're not supposed to do in Hawaii.
What was that?
I took a piece of lava rock home.
Uh-oh.
And
You're
they
gonna have
say
the
that's
you're gonna
bad
have
luck.
the FBI at your door now.
I mean, that's one thing, but like, I don't want to make the spirits angry or anything like that. So I'm like, I need to return this stone to Hawaii. So it's like, I need to do this for more than one reason. Like, it's got an actual purpose. I kind of need to bring that back because I didn't know afterwards. I just wanted to bring a piece of lava rock home. I thought it was cool, and someone was like, "Whoa, you can't do that."
So you only want to go to Hawaii technically to return the rock.
Well, and see the beautiful ocean and relax in luxuriousness. But return the rock too, yeah.
Okay. Well, is there any place on your list of things that you would want to go to that you haven't visited then?
Yes, I need to get my passport so I can go overseas. Like, I know Hawaii is kind of technically overseas, because it's over a sea.
But it's still part of the United States.
Right. But I need to get my passport so I can go across the big pond, and I want to go to Europe. I want to see what that's all about. What's the hustle and bustle over there?
Well, for me, that's going to Germany for a month. Ooh. At least a month.
Das Boots. And would that month be October?
I don't know. My ancestors came from Germany in the 1920s. So it's more about, learning your heritage, seeing where your ancestors came from for me.
Ah. See, I love that. I'm a quarter German, so I'd love to see that as well. French, Irish, and British.
Well, I mean, if we're going to say quarter, then technically I'm quarter Irish. because my mom was on the Smith side, so mixing the German and the Irish, you know, not to drink with me.
Hey, there you go. There you go. And that was just, what, a couple weeks ago, St. Patty's Day, so.
Well, I'm a part of my ancestry in Germany is Viking and Norse men, so
Oh, cool.
it's kind of hard to celebrate St. Patrick's Day when it's like, how in the world did this family get together and create what we've created out of those thousands of loves?
How did this happen? How did we get here?
I don't know how we got here. But what we're going to do is bring on our first guest, Scott from Saving Abel. Saving Abel is a band that I've listened to since I was young, and I think that the all-time favorite song that I would have to say is Addicted. I definitely was a fan of that song, and I could say I've had past loves that unfortunately I was addicted to, so that song really hits home for me. What about you, Jake? You got any specific Saving Abel songs you like?
If I can just be unoriginal and piggyback off you on that, honestly, it's true to home. So, yeah, I would just piggyback off you on that one.
All right, so we got Scott here from Saving Abel. How you doing today, Scott? Doing great here. Thank you so much for being on the show. So, with you being a part of Saving Abel, where did this all start, and how did it lead to where you are today with this band?
So, Scott, I have a question for you. You've probably performed everywhere that imaginable. Where's your favorite place that, or maybe one of the most memorable places that you've performed? Woo! Love that answer. Good answer.
So, if you are sitting at home by yourself, do you listen to your own music, whether it's Saving Abel or Old Tantric, or do you listen to others out there? Definitely. You have to keep up with that for sure.
Right. Yeah, things are always evolving in the music scene, and what's cool, one day is completely different the next day. How do you think that you've kind of broken through that noise, so to speak, especially during a time when everything was coming together? Lots of rock bands out there. What made, you guys kind of break through all of that noise?
That I did not realize.
Oh, wow. Huh. Yeah, and I think that comes kind of full circle to what we're doing here on Small Business Showcase, is talking about, business plans. And even in an industry like art and music, there is still got to be a solid business plan behind what you're doing. You're not just out here writing songs and throwing them out there hoping that someone's gonna catch them, right? Wow.
We'll never hear all those songs.
Never.
How many songs would you say you guys have written that you've never produced yet? Because whether it was, hey, we didn't like this, or whatever the case may be. Wow. Wow, and that is definitely one of the great songs, too, from you guys. What advice would you give? Because I know that there's a few people that are going to be listening today that are trying to really break out in the music industry. What kind of advice could you give out to young people just trying to chase that dream and get, where they're wanting to be in the music industry? Even if they hate it. I definitely have to agree with that for sure. Now, when Christina gave me a tour of Sunshine Studios, you guys have a beautiful little setup back there to really produce the music. Is that where you produce music for your artists, or do you go somewhere outside of Sunshine at all? So I gotta back up just a little bit because you said you were from Kentucky. So I'm actually from Indiana. So what part of Kentucky were you from? Okay, never been to Brea, but been to Lexington. So I'm from Huntington, Indiana, and a lot of people don't know that small town, but it's near Fort Wayne, Indiana. Oh, I can only imagine, especially with all the traveling that you've done. Outside of Sunshine, what city or state would you say is most beautiful? And we're going to eliminate Colorado because we already know this is the most beautiful state out there.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I've been. I love it.
That's awesome. Now, how could someone reach out to you, let's say an artist, to schedule and do something at your recording studio at Sunshine where they want to get produced and talk about your prices? What's the best way they could reach out to you or Christina for that?
And I have one more question for you if we have time.
Yeah, we got time.
Absolutely. Okay, cool. Well, what advice would you give to the kid that's sitting there with the beat up bass? What would you give them, advice if they want to consider a music career?
Kidnapping you. So we're still doing the interview, but you'll be on this mic. Okay. And I'll let you know. I'll tell you to come on. Okay. It's your turn.
Right. And lots of planning, it sounds like, as well. Marketing, strategy, business plans. Yeah, they're all relevant in art and music, just as any other industry.
We are out of time here, but I do appreciate you, Scott, coming on. And, to just take the little fangirl thing, like, wow, I get to talk to someone from a band that I've listened to all my life. But
right.
Truly appreciate you coming on and sharing your story. And maybe at some point we can get both you and Christina on and really broadcast Sunshine out some more for you guys, too. Appreciate it. And yeah, tune us in every Saturday at 10 a.m. And thank you again, Scott. And you have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
Thanks.
So next we have a very special guest. She has the company Life of Echo. Echo is her real name. Her last name is Vogel. My last name is Vogelman. So the fun fact that even though I'm Vogelman, deep down the line, we're related to Vogel. So distant cousins is what I told her when we first met. She goes, haha, that's my ex-husband. I said, I don't care. I bet you first.
Oh my gosh.
That's
So
right.
how are you doing today, Echo?
I'm good. How are you guys doing today?
Doing great.
so
Great. Thanks for having me.
So, Life of Echo, happiness coach, how are you
Yeah.
different than regular therapy? Because that's one thing that you've told me, but I've never even really dived into that question.
Yeah, well, thanks for asking. I am building resiliency programs for humans to help them find happiness in a world where human priorities have become misaligned. So there's absolutely a lot of folks that benefit from counseling and therapy, and I have a lot of great people to refer folks to, but I really help people focus on finding and putting together their happiness puzzle.
Oh, I love that. And what kind of inspired you to get started on this whole journey? Did you just wake up as a kid and you're like, I'm going to counsel people and I'm going to make people feel better? Or
Thanks.
did you always know?
No, not at all. It doesn't
Oh.
work that way, yeah. I look back at my life a decade ago, 10 years ago, and I was wildly unhappy in every area of my life. And it's just been a decade of self-awareness and understanding myself and how human beings work. I started by understanding emotional regulation and learning to regulate my emotions, which greatly improved my professional life and my personal life. We are 360-degree people, so all of the information that I give is not only evidence-based, but it can help you in all avenues of your life.
So let's say you talk to someone and they have depression, anxiety, bipolar, DID, like all that stuff. How can you help regulate that when this world pushes so much pharmaceutical?
Yeah, well, we start with the research that has been evidence-based and shown to help every human as a species. So, B-Rad, you have certain things that will make you happy. I have things that will make me happy. Jake, you have things that make you happy.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some things that help us as just human beings to be happy. And we start there. We start with the really easy things that you can do every single day.
Can you have some of those examples with you?
I have a great one. Yeah,
Oh,
thanks for
please
asking.
do. I need these are tools in our tool belt that we need for our mind, and I'm all for these. And a lot of times, some of these things, for me, I don't know that you do them once and you're like, oh, I already did that. But you got to keep doing them, right?
It's consistency. You're exactly right. I have a great tip for everybody.
Ooh, let's hear it.
You know, happiness is not just a feel-good concept. It's a practical tool for success in life. And a great way to get there is to understand how the human body's autonomic nervous system reacts with the brain. So our brain is very silly, guys, in that it doesn't differentiate between a situation happening and us remembering a situation, good or bad. So for a quick example, if you're stuck in that traffic jam this morning on I-25 and it has got you stressed out, your brain is triggering your ANS to release stress hormones, which are sometimes needed and good for us. And then we come into podcasts, hey, Jake, how's your morning going? Oh, well, it was fine until I got stuck in that stupid traffic, and now I'm running late. Your brain doesn't know you're not stuck in traffic. Your brain now thinks you're still stuck in traffic. So say you go home later and you're talking to your sweetie. Hey, hon, how was your day? Oh, man, it started out so dang terrible because of that traffic. Again, your brain's not knowing you're remembering it. It is sending those stress hormones through your body again, which have a 12-hour half-life in our body.
Stop. That's way too long.
It's way too long. That's why
To be holding on to something that you can't
Correct.
control from earlier in the day.
You
I
got
struggle with this, though. So it's something that, yeah, traffic will make me angry. Even on the way here, I was trying to zipper merge and someone tried to not let me. Well, I got in front, but it still... it
Yeah.
makes me like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm getting
Right
over.
now,
I'm not asking permission.
I'm releasing. Yeah, exactly. It's what's
So right
happening.
now, this second,
You
your
see.
body is responding that you're in traffic getting not being your
So
just as
speaking
if
of-
I was there in the
Just
car
as
right
if
now.
you were there in the
yeah.
car right
So
now.
speaking of like the tools, and what about a long-term effect? Let's say someone got heartbroken from a divorce or grief. Like, how would you be able to help with that happiness versus just the, oh, I'm mad in traffic, or I got yelled at my boss, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna go kick the cat.
I appreciate that question. Don't kick a cat.
My cat over is listening like,
Yeah.
no.
She goes, I appreciate the question. Wait, beat right, don't kick the cat.
No. I appreciate you bringing up grief. Grief is not an emotion to me. Grief is something that changes who we are as a human being. And that's a whole nother avenue of self-care, awareness, management, and discovery. I'm not going to tell you to take a deep breath and your grief is going to go away, right? You become a new person, and change is really hard for people, especially when we don't choose it ourselves. So when grief comes to you in a way that is sad and draining, yeah, you have to deal with it much differently. Time, honestly, is the biggest way to work through
Is that
grief.
the same for the heartbroken people who just went through that divorce?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can
And
you,
it doesn't
can you
mean-
still help them get happy even with the times?
Absolutely. We just, I just started, I do a lot of happiness experiments, and I created a bright side blueprint, and it's just a daily task upon waking and sleeping, just questions you ask yourself and a quick conversation you have. Just you don't even need a pen, you don't need any money to do it, and over time, it's a 42-day program, and over time, if you were to measure your happiness, there's a happiness quotient.
So if someone wants to learn about that, how can they contact you?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, they can go to my website, lifeofecho.com. I'll be having the Brightside Blueprint, and we're starting happiness huddles next month. So it's the second Thursday of every month down at the Everyday Girl Adventures Social Boutique. It's just an hour of really learning these things that can make us happy. And we're starting with things that make everybody happy, like the retraining the brain and all kinds of other things. I won't give away all the secrets, but
Well, it sounds like you have a lot of these different tools that we can all put in our tool
that's
belt.
right. It's a puzzle, right? You have to
Yeah.
build your
So
own.
we are
Oh, I love
out
that.
of time, unfortunately,
Oh,
but
yeah.
you do have a quote that you said was given to you today. You wanted to make sure that we shared it. So
Yes,
let's
thank
hear that
you.
quote.
Thank you so much. A quick shout out to Joanne here at KRDO. I met her and introduced myself, and she said, "Oh, yeah, once you're happy, you don't go back." And she's right. It's like learning to read. Once you have those skills and build your toolkit, you can help be happy and have a good foundation for yourself every single day of your life.
And one
Happiness
last
is
time.
sustainable is what you're saying.
It absolutely is.
I love that.
I'm going to quote that, Jake. Thank you.
Thanks.
One last
Yeah.
time, just to make sure people know how to get a hold of you, because everyone deserves to be happy at the end of the day.
That's right. You got it.
Well, thank you so much for coming in here.
How do they
and-
reach out to you
Oh,
again?
yes. www.lifeofecho.com.
Yes, thank you, Echo, for talking with us about mental health. I think it's something that we need to talk about more often, openly about things. You know, we hear people on TV and radio, and we just think, "Oh wow, they have it so well put together." But in reality, it can be a bumpy road to get to that happiness, and that can be for anyone, and myself is included in that. And I find the benefit of talk therapy as well. I think it's definitely beneficial. Just like medication, I mean, I do take medication for myself, but the two working together.
You got it.
Oh, yeah.
You got it, Jake. It's your own happiness puzzle.
I love that. Well, we're going to have to toss to the break. We'll be right back on the other side with more of the Small Business Showcase right here on KRDO News Radio. Stay with us. Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good.
So I told him about the little game thing that you have going on, so with him.
Pardon?
The game thing that you have.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of
fun.
let you
Okay,
lead, but
cool.
I'll start with...
I just thought it would be fun to kind of
I'm going to
change things
start
up.
with the thing about... Her name's Jeannie, but we're going to leave her anonymous about her story, and I figured that we could do a little bit with that, and that can lead into why they should talk to you about the coverages they need in case a situation like that happens.
Okay.
And then he's going to kind of take over the fun game part for you.
Yeah.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Business side of we got Are You Covered? Are You Covered? So the examples, did you see them already?
No, he hasn't seen any of that.
Okay, a raccoon breaks into your attic and throws a party. So is that covered? You drop an engagement, and these. And tell me if you don't like any of these.
He doesn't know about our video plan either. I laughed when I read that last night. He has no idea what we talked about with the videos.
Oh, gotcha. Now you drop your engagement ring into a sewer, and it's gone forever. Is that covered? A frozen turkey flies through your windshield.
Yes.
Is that covered? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And you accidentally drive into your garage door 2 times. Oops.
Yes.
Okay.
Raccoon breaking into the attic.
Leave that one out. Or
You could say no,
Any
it's
of them?
not covered. It adds a little bit of flavor to it, unless it's something you're like, I'm not sure if that's
I-
covered or
That's
not.
something
think
we
it
need
would-
to talk
I think
about?
it would probably be covered.
okay, but it's something we would probably have
Yeah.
to talk to the raccoon and see. Maybe something if you wanted to do that.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, cool.
I can roll with it.
Awesome. Well, this will be fun.
Oh.
Excuse me.
But yeah, you don't have to change your commercial just because I wrote for all the other sponsors. I didn't want to leave you out. So I still wrote just in case you...
I'm not getting any ROI on the other one, so
Okay.
maybe we redo it, and maybe also at the end we add, call and get a quote, mention this radio ad, get entered into a drawing for a
Gift card or
$50
something.
gift card.
Because that gives them a call to
Which
action.
was your original. So let's do it.
Okay.
Let me talk to James, make sure that's okay, but I'm sure he'll be like,
Yeah.
that's fine.
We'll wait on the commercial part until we know, and we'll just let me know tomorrow when we meet. And yes, Mod Pizza's fine, even though I didn't reply.
Okay.
So that
that's
one
good.
we met at, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me get the new audio track.
And then I was thinking about just asking you about like how you keep your own peace with like piggybacking off of what we were talking about with the stressors and things before with our last guest. She was talking about like when you think about stress, it stresses you out just as if you were in that situation.
Mhm.
So talking about like these stressors that other people that are going through that you're dealing with all day long, how do you keep your own peace?
Okay.
Cool.
I smoke lots of weed. Just kidding.
Okay.
Tried and true
Yeah.
We
jazz cigarette.
are ready, and we're coming back from break in 3, 2, 1.
All right, thank you so much for returning after this break here. We want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Bo Hughes of James Foster Farmers Insurance, Brandy Pendleton with Pendleton Heating and Cooling, Steve and Christopher with Martial Arts and Mental Health, as well as Kara and Veda with Claw and Shield. So we have our sponsor, Bo Hughes, coming up next. We're going to do some interesting things that Jake's got with it. So
I'm so excited. The game show hosting me is jumping up and down right now.
So how are you doing today, Bo?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
We're doing great as well. So one thing that we're going to bring up, because last week I talked about a friend who had a friend who didn't have renter's insurance when his apartment caught fire. I talked to another friend who unfortunately got into an accident. It caused the death of someone. They had to go through multiple surgeries, totaled their car. They're still going through the whole process, but, you know, they're thankful for the insurance that they have. We don't ever want to think of something like that because this person is still crying every day because they remember seeing that person before they got into the accident. And so it really affects them. How can someone make sure they are best protected in a worst case scenario situation like what happened with this friend?
So I think it all comes down to looking at coverages and making sure that it's covered, which is where I kind of come in and help look at that, explain. I talk to a lot of people all the time that don't truly understand what is covered on their insurance and what the actual coverages are, what they do, and why they're important. So, you know, you have a lot of people these days that are carrying state minimum insurance on car insurance and just liability only, not carrying full coverage for their vehicle, not carrying uninsured motorists, you know, not carrying any of the bells and whistles, and then something ends up happening to where, like, let's say the car's out of commission due to a covered loss and they don't have any rental car coverage on their policy, and now they're upset. So what I'm always making sure is when I'm talking to a customer and a client and I'm educating them on their policies, that I'm going through each coverage, I'm letting them know what the coverage covers, why it's important, how much coverage that they should have, and why that's important. And especially with renters, like, I get a lot of people that are like, oh man, I don't want renter's insurance, I don't care about renter's insurance, blah blah blah. Like,
You're gonna care when you're in that situation.
so a lot of times, like, adding on a renter's policy when you're writing an auto actually makes the whole policy cheaper. You pay less for renter's insurance and auto insurance than you pay for just auto insurance alone because of the multi-product discount. So, if you rent and you have an auto policy, chances are if you added a renter's policy, it's not going to change your price.
Didn't you say it was like $100 or something for like the year last week?
Yeah, so it's usually like $10 to maybe $30 a month, depending on the coverage that you carry on the policy.
And talking about, that renter's insurance policy, that covers your personal products as well. And on top of the liability-only insurance that's provided by your apartment complex, that just covers the building, right? If you were to get a personal property on that, that's covered with insurance that you offer.
Yeah, let's just talk really quick about what renter's insurance covers so that everybody kind of has a good idea of that.
Yeah.
So personal property is definitely what's covered. One of the main things covered on the policy, that's your coverage A. That's going to be your personal belongings, your clothes, your shoes, your furniture, electronics, kitchen stuff, bathroom stuff, towels, sheets, basically anything that's in your house. If we picked it up, turned it upside down, and shook it, everything that came out would be your personal property.
That's like how you put that.
Second coverage on there is going to be loss of use. Loss of use is going to be if you're displaced from your apartment due to a covered loss, of fire, a windstorm blows it down, you know, whatever, hail takes out the roof and it's uninhabitable until it gets fixed. Renter's insurance provides a stipend that's a percentage of the personal property that provides for living expenses. So depending on your personal property limits and how high you go on loss of use, you know, you could be looking at getting anywhere from like $2,000 to $10,000 to live off of if this were to happen to you.
So if I'm renting and let's say I got into a car accident and I had fancy wheels, I know that doesn't cover on auto insurance. Does that technically fall under renter's insurance, or should I never buy fancy wheels for my vehicle?
I would say, so no, the wheels would not be covered under the renter's insurance. Anything automobile related is going to be covered under the car insurance. Now, there's a custom parts and equipment coverage that you can add onto an auto policy to protect those wheels if something were to happen.
So definitely need to make sure to let Bo know when you got fancy stuff like that so it is protected.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And there's so many different options on your insurance that you can have. I mean, aside from renter's insurance, when you're talking about like auto insurance as well, understandably, wherever you go, there's just so many options. It's overwhelming. Yeah, even me, I'm a 32. I've been having insurance my whole life, but I'm still like, wait, what is that one? Then what's the difference between this and that? So I think having someone like you that can break it down and make it understandable and say, hey, this is what you need. This is what you need. This is probably something you might not need, I think is like so valuable.
Yeah, and I tend to see that a lot of people, like, I mean, you either save on the front end or you save on the back end. And a lot of times saving on the back end is more important because that's where the expenses are going to be. You hit somebody and you cause them bodily injury and they get taken to the hospital for 5 days, those medical bills are going to be outrageous.
Oh, yeah.
You hit and total a brand new Tesla and you've only got $25,000 in property damage. Now you're on the hook for $55,000 to $60,000 that you're going to still have to pay by one means or another, whether or not they take everything that you have or they garnish your wages. They're going to end up getting that money back.
Yeah,
So it doesn't
just
go away.
Yeah, exactly.
I think a lot of people think that. They're like, well, if I get in an accident it's just and I total somebody's car and I only have $25,000 property damage, it just goes away. It doesn't. You still get that bill at the end of the month. You're still going to get a summons to go to court because they're going to sue you.
Or you could have the correct insurance that will cover you for these things.
100%.
And pay for that ahead of time so you're not paying for that headache later down the road. Oof.
Yeah, and that's what the most important part is, because there's no worse feeling for me than getting a call from somebody who says, "Do I have this coverage on my policy?"
Oh.
And I'm like, "I'm so sorry, but you do not have it." Now, I always know that we had that conversation, because I'm very thorough when I talk to customers, especially if I get the mindset that you don't understand what your coverages are and what they cover. I'm going to run through that. And typically every call, I run through every coverage and I let people know what they are.
That's so nice. Yeah,
So
there's
they
just so
understand.
much that goes on to it. Well, do we have a second to play?
Yes.
Okay. America's next favorite game show is happening right here on KRDO News Radio, and it's called Are You Covered? And the crowd goes wild. You hear them in the background.
I hear the crickets.
Oh, there we go. Thanks, Bo. So, lightning round here. I'm just going to ask you a question and give you a crazy scenario, and you tell me, is it covered? Sound good?
Yes.
All right, let's go ahead and do it. So, a raccoon breaks into your attic, throws a party, and destroys everything you own up there. Is
Yes.
that covered?
100%.
Oh, I love that. All right, we got to talk to that raccoon, too, and see what he was doing up there.
Yeah.
And how about this? You drop your engagement ring while you're washing your hands down into the pipe, into the sewer. Let's just say it's gone. It's gone into Lake Pueblo.
Okay, so this is an interesting one. Do you have a floater on the policy for that ring? How much is that ring worth?
Ooh.
So, give me a price point on the ring.
Let's say $3,000.
Yes, covered.
Okay.
Let's say $300,000.
No, not without a floater.
Not
So what a
without
floater
a floater,
does,
okay.
so there are limits of liability, or limits on certain things when it comes to personal property. Jewelry is one of those things. Typically covered up to a $5,000 limit. If you have a $25,000 engagement ring and a bunch of other jewelry and stuff, then you can get an appraisal done on that ring, and you can cover it for the full value of what the ring's worth. So in that scenario, it would depend on whether or not they have a personal articles floater on their policy to protect that ring for the $300,000.
So a floater can also help if you drop the ring in Lake Pueblo, float it back up to the top. I see. No, maybe not so easy like that, but I see what you're saying. That's at least that's covered. Okay, I got another one for you here. How about a frozen turkey flies through your windshield?
That would also depend. Did somebody
really?
throw it?
Oh,
If somebody threw this flying turkey, then they would be negligible for that, and that would go through their insurance.
let's say Final Destination. There's a truck full of turkeys, frozen turkeys, and one of them goes over a bump and it flies off, goes through the windshield.
Should be covered, yes.
Should be covered. Oh, I love this.
You should have sped around that truck if you watched Final Destination 2.
Exactly, literally, just go around. Just go around. Okay, and I got one more for you. And this I've done. You accidentally drive into your garage door, but 2 times.
Yes, absolutely.
Really?
So are these 2 times like in the same day, or this is like I
No way,
crashed
Jake,
into
it's
the
same
door
day.
today, and then a month from now I did the same thing.
Same day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, now, just for the sake of hearing the other side too, let's say a month later.
Yes.
I already got it fixed, but then I do it again.
But now you got 2 comp claims,
2
which
claims.
don't count against you in the grand scheme of things. But if you have too many comprehensive claims, it can go against you for acceptability. If you were to go shop for another insurance provider.
So maybe just don't hit that garage door.
Learn the drive.
There we go. Okay, I do my best. Just sometimes vehicles are bigger than
Sounds
they
like
should be.
you should be a part of that that Facebook group of Colorado Can't Drive.
Oh, 719 can't drive. Believe me, I am in that group. It is a spicy group. Oh man, you gotta be careful in there.
So, Bo, how can someone get a hold of you, whether it's a quote or just, in general, how to reach you?
Yeah, they can call or text me at 719-367-0348. Again, that's 719-367-0348.
Awesome. And we look forward to having you again here in the next 2 weeks, Bo, and you have a great rest of your day.
You too. Thank you so much for having me. I always appreciate it.
So good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Wait, Jake, you're just going to give us dead air?
Oh, I thought we were done with the segment. I thought we were done and we were going to re-record. Okay, well, let's just keep it rolling then. Let's keep it rolling. That is
So
such good talk,
next
though,
we're going to
about
do
insurance.
Brandy Pendleton with Pendleton Heating and Cooling.
Brandy Pendleton with Pendleton Heating and Cooling. Come on in. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
You're the next contestant on the showcase.
That's right.
Am I going to win some?
Oh,
Yeah. You win a day to go hang out with B-Rad, maybe at the hot spring or something for our new travel segment.
Sweet.
Ooh. You asked me earlier my favorite place to go visit. Where would be your favorite place to go visit?
I really love the mountains, but my favorite part is probably in the San Juans. Like Ouray area and all of that. Durango, Telluride, that whole
So you've been to
area.
the sand dunes?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't. I've been here my whole life. I still
Haven't been to the sand dunes, but I just talked to Kara from Claw and Shield about going there, too.
Good. Well, there's a lot of things to do out that way that people don't know about, so...
Sounds like we need to have a Pendleton little heating and cooling travel day where we just follow Brandy and she shows us all the cool spots.
Well, I love Colorado and I love to explore, so I've been to a lot of places here, so...
Have you ran into a ghost town yet?
Absolutely. I've been to a few.
Have not, myself.
I have a few I could tell you about, see?
So one thing that everyone hears and everyone's talking about is these tariffs that are coming. How is that affecting you guys in the HVAC business?
Well, unfortunately, things are not made in America like they used to be. And even when the furnace or air conditioner or whatever is put together here, some of the parts do come from other countries. And so, unfortunately, those tariffs are probably going to affect our industry pretty heavily. We've already been getting some emails and things from some of our suppliers, and they're already implementing some price increases with anticipation of the tariffs coming. So unfortunately it's happening, and we're just going to do the best that we can to give you guys the best price that we can and work through it just like we did with COVID.
And I have a question for you. Being a woman in industry that's primarily dominated by men, how has that been for you personally?
Well, I think there's a lot of women in HVAC that don't get the recognition that they deserve, because when you think about HVAC and stuff, of course you think about the person that comes to your house and does the work, but there's a lot of people behind the scenes that do a lot of things to make sure that they can get to your house and get those things done. So, and that's kind of what I do for the most part. Now, I'm not past getting down in a crawl space or an attic space and helping remove and replace the furnace. I've done that lots of times when we were first starting out. It was me and my husband, so I was definitely doing that a lot. But I think for me, I haven't really seen too much issue with me being a woman in HVAC. I think a lot of people
Right.
appreciate the fact that I educate myself enough to know how a furnace works.
Well, and I think that's a competitive advantage that you have over the men in the industries, that you're not going to come there and mansplain to these people what their problems are. Yeah, I would much rather connect with you.
Yeah.
So with you talking about education, refrigerant changes, what does that mean for consumers?
So they did change the rules, the laws, whatever guidelines about what kind of refrigerant we can use, and this is the first year that it's been completely implemented to where they're not the suppliers are not selling units with the R410A refrigerant anymore. They're using the new A2L refrigerant, and so unfortunately, what that meant was price increase too. I do think that the manufacturers and stuff incur costs, and so that gets passed on to the consumer, and an opportunity to make more money, they're probably going to take that too. So there's definitely been a little bit of a cost increase with your air conditioning because of the refrigerant as well. But don't let anyone tell you you can't have an R410 unit, because it's not like they're illegal or that they have to be replaced just because they have an older type of refrigerant in them. And furnaces will work fine with either kind of refrigerant, so you don't have to replace your furnace just because you're replacing your AC either.
Okay, so you could maybe all have to do one at a time.
Yes.
And that's important to know as we're coming into the warm season. We've been seeing such beautiful weather all week long.
Yes.
Yeah, and getting your AC, I don't know, you tell me, I think yes, AC is an absolute must-have in Colorado Springs. Some people tell me that I'm crazy and that, nah, you don't need AC out here. What do you think?
I think 10 years ago, those people were probably right. I think within the last, 10 years, with how much growth we have, with how much more concrete, cement, and asphalt there is in this area, there's less trees than there was. All of those things contribute to more heat. And a lot of houses were built without air conditioning for a long time, but all these new builds certainly have air conditioning. And people coming from other areas that aren't used to not having the air conditioning, I definitely think it's become much more of a necessity than it used to be. And I don't know about you, but I sure don't like sweating in my own house.
No, I'd much rather be cold than be too hot.
I got a portable AC for myself, but don't you have a promo going on right now for someone who does get a new AC from you guys?
Yes, actually we are doing a spring promotion where when you purchase your air conditioner, we're going to include a smart thermostat for you without any additional charges. We were able to work out a deal with one of our suppliers, and so we wanted to pass that on to people. With all the changes happening and the prices increasing on the actual equipment and stuff, we wanted to have a way to give them something to give them a little more value, and that's a little thing that we can do that will really help benefit your system, because smart thermostats are awesome. You can adjust them from anywhere.
Love that.
They can learn things about how you set your temperatures and all of that stuff. So.
And not having to get up off the couch to do it, you can just say, hey, Alexa or Siri or whoever you have, and tell them to do it. Oh, it's just worth it just for that. But then, yeah, the cost savings that you can get with those smart thermostats, and even rebates that you can get through the utility company for those. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, I mean, I imagine some of the days are like freezing, some of the days are chaotic, some of those are boiling hot. You're dealing with helping people be comfortable in extreme temperatures. What really kind of keeps you going on those days where you're like, oh my gosh, it is 100 degrees out, or maybe it's negative 10 degrees out? What keeps you going?
I am by nature a helper. I'm the type of person that gets a lot of my motivation and self-satisfaction from helping other people. And so just knowing that I'm going out and helping, or that I'm sending people out to help take care of people who are having an emergency, because to them it is an emergency. When you're not sure if you're going to stay warm that night, that can be kind of scary. So I love to educate people and teach them about how their system works and how they can keep their system working. So. And
unfortunately we are out of time, but how can we someone get a hold of you, especially in April 1st, to get this spring promo for you?
Well, there's definitely different ways to get a hold of us. We have our website, and that's pendletonheating.com, and you can call or text our office number. That's 719-219-2190, or you can visit us on Facebook or Instagram and send us messages there, and we'd be happy to get you scheduled.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being a sponsor, and we look forward to having you on in the next week or so.
Sounds great.
Thank you.
Wow.
So next we have Dominique Garcia from Hellraiser Tattoo coming in to talk about his tattoo shop.
This is so exciting, and this one's for all the artists and anybody who has a little bit of ink on their skin. And I see another familiar face that I've talked to before here in the Springs. How's it going? And it's great to see you. How are you doing today?
Doing pretty good. Happy to be here, guys.
Hey,
Super
so
excited.
how long have you been tattooing, and how did you get into it in the first place?
I've been tattooing professionally going on about 10 years now. And I started getting into it professionally when I got home from federal prison. But before that, getting into it, we was just kids, and we learned how to make them, and we just ran from there, man.
I love that.
Guinea pigging each other when we was kids.
So how old were you when you got your first tattoo then?
Oh, God, I was in middle school.
In middle school? Oh, my dad, he said he would have ripped it off my skin if he saw something like that. I had a cop dad, so that was like a little different.
Yeah, Mom wasn't happy about it.
Oh, I bet. So then you've kind of always known that this is something that you want to do.
Just always kind of been interested in art, artistically. Just, always was drawing something, involved in something at school with art.
I'm so curious as the first time you tattoo ink, like I know a lot of people will practice on different types of material or anything, but the first time you tattooed another person, what was going through your head? Were you sweating bricks?
Nah, I said, it was we were just guinea pigging each other, so we were probably like got done partying or at the moment partying, just kind of happens like that. Like, why not? Let's do it. Come on.
So I do see you have a lot of tattoos yourself. Now me, I got 24 right now, and every single one has a meaning, and I do believe in ink therapy.
Yeah, same.
How does that sound for you? Do you believe in ink therapy yourself? And how many tattoos would you say you have?
I have no idea how many I have. I have them on my leg. I have them all over my chest, my back, my hands, everywhere. I lost count a long time ago. But some of them have a meaning. Some of them were earned, you can say. Some of them just kind of, I have like this arm is a lot of dedicated to my kids, and I have my son's mom who passed away on there, my grandmother, my mother. People see my tattoos and they think right away it's, gang member, gang related, but this whole arm is just all family. Like, it's all love,
Well, and the misconceptions, and I think that mindset is changing a lot, and I'm happy to see that. Tattoos are in the workplace. Tattoos are professional. Tattoos are fine. Tattoos are normal.
Everybody's getting them now.
Yeah, I mean, you see I have a sleeve as well that I'm still working on. And on my fingers, I'm happy. I'm a normal person,
Try to get Yummy in the shop, right?
Hey, yeah, there we go.
Do you have any specials coming up for anyone that is looking for a new tattoo artist?
Well, when we open up, we have a date set with the mall on the website, which is April 26th. Is going to be pretty much what our grand opening date is as of now, but we're trying to get that sooner. But we'll be doing $400 tap outs. That's like our go-to deal for our shop.
$400 tap out. Now, is this a true tap out where 12 hours until you tap out, or do you set a limit?
Look, to be realistic, I never really seen anybody go like 6-7 hours is like the go-to. Like that, around 6 hours, they're already.
What if someone wants to challenge and be like, "Hey, I want to do 12 hours"?
Some people have that in them, Some people have that, and it depends on the artist too. Some take more breaks than others. Some don't want to even take a break. Let's just go and go. And then you got somebody that wants to take a break. Like, okay, well, if you find that the client is taking more breaks than you're taking, something's up. You might have to tap out here soon.
So with the Men of Influence, because they are right there with you guys in the Citadel Mall, and I want to make sure we hit on them before we're out of time. Mm-hmm. What exactly is the Men of Influence?
Well, we work with the gangs out here. We open up lines of communication. We work directly with the, I guess what you say, leaders or men of influence in that lifestyle as well. The guys that really got the influence over the youngsters in these gangs. So it can be anybody out here on the streets. It can be somebody in prison. We do both. So we work with a lot of people in Pueblo, Denver, here. We go to L.A., work with brothers out there. So it helps when you got that kind of a network. So when you go out here and talk to them, whether they're in school or they're in the jails, it matters. They listen because a lot of us, we're not what you would call dropouts. We never stopped being from the gang. We just do something different now.
It's a whole new gang.
Because we're gang members, we don't got to be out here doing violence. You can actually still do something and be a productive person in society and still be in a gang.
he said earlier that he's got tattoos. People thinking of him a gang, and now he's mentioning
Oh,
gang of
I don't hide that because of that's part of the influence that we have. Is I've been blood for over 30 years now, so. And,
Thank you for not hiding that and
you
being
know,
authentic to who you
For
are
sure,
and
for
sharing
sure.
that.
That's
Thank
just
you.
part of me, and that's how I'm able to do what I do out here with MOI.
So, if with anything with Men of Influence, how could Small Business Showcase help and showcase Men of Influence more for you?
We have a lot of events. We got events going on. We just did a fundraiser for Juneteenth over at the movie theater for the Snow White release.
How was that?
Fantastic. The pictures, there's over 50 kids, it looks like, in the picture alone.
That's
so,
awesome.
Yeah.
We are
Great
out
things
of
for the community. Thank you.
For sure.
We are out of time, but we do definitely want to say that the showcase is going to be helping Dominique with the grand opening, so we'll have him back on, and we'll have some live videos too to really showcase what he's doing that day. So we look forward to getting that party going.
Come by and check out the Citadel Mall. MOI headquarters is there. Hellraisers will be opening up. Like I said, 26th of April. We're trying to get that around that time, but yeah, we got a lot of stuff going over
26th of April was plenty of time for us to just start planning the party. So let's start
I'm
getting that plan.
build. I'm waiting for that build.
So we appreciate you for your time. We are out of time actually for the Small Business Showcase in general
man, we
too
just
already.
have to tap out there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, we had some great guests come on, some great knowledge from insurance to mental health to musicians to even Men of Influence here with Dominique and Hellraiser Tattoo.
Yeah.
So Small Business Showcase is going to be working with him for his grand opening, and be on the lookout on Facebook, our website, showcase-sv.com.
We'll have a lot of giveaways on our Facebook as well, too.
Maybe we'll give away an interview for a business owner that comes in or something, too.
I got a lot of free tattoos we're giving away on the page. Hellraisers, tattoos, and piercings. Check us out on Facebook.
Didn't you say you had something that we need to invite Dave Navarro on your Hellraiser because of one of your piercers? I just remembered that.
Yeah. My piercer, he's pretty bad, man. He's one of the best out here. They do the suspension as well.
Oh man, that is crazy. I've seen that before.
He's one of the best out here, and he'll be our piercer ever at Hellraisers.
That's awesome. Well, we look forward to the grand opening, and we look forward to seeing everyone next week. And thank you so much for being a part of the Small Business Showcase. And you guys have a great weekend and a great week.
Thank you for having us.
See you next time. Not a quiet meeting. I love it.